Welcome you out to the Planning Commission this evening. Time is 6:02, July 23rd, 2024. Roll call.
Chairman Cox.
Here.
Vice Chairman Ferris.
Here.
Commissioner Hayman.
Here.
Commissioner Mondragon.
Here.
Commissioner Richter.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Do I have an approval for the agenda?
So move.
Second?
I'll second.
Chairman Cox.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Ferris.
Aye.
Commissioner Hayman.
Aye.
Commissioner Mondragon.
Aye.
5 ayes. Motion passes.
Okay.
We forgot Megan.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Victor.
Aye.
5 ayes. Motion carries.
Not allowed to use your clairvoyancy.
Okay. Do I have an approval for the minutes?
I'll move.
Second. Oops.
Who second?
Don't fight.
Who second?
I did.
Vanessa.
Okay.
There is a typo that will be corrected in the minutes. It's just the last name. Okay. Chairman Cox.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Ferris.
Aye.
Commissioner Hayman.
Aye.
Commissioner Mondragon.
Aye.
Commissioner Richter.
Aye.
5 ayes. Motion carries.
Moving on, agendas, non-agenda items for public comment. Persons wishing to address the Planning Commission on matters that are within the Commission's jurisdiction and do not already appear on the agenda may do so at this time. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the Planning Commission may not take any action on these items that do not appear on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes. The public comment section of the agenda is limited to 1 hour. Do I have anybody that wishes to address the Planning Commission on non-items? Anybody on the phone? Anybody in the gallery? Seeing none, we're going to move on at 6:05. At 6:05, I'm going to open the public hearing. This is a public hearing, Site Plan Review 24-02, amendment to the Site Plan Review 23-01, request for approval of a modified site plan for 5 parcels for commercial use. Proposed users are 3 fast food establishments and 2 future retail users. Modification on the site plan includes the addition of signalized intersection on Bowman and the future Sanders Street located on the northwest corner of China Lake Boulevard and Bowman Road. APN 480-010-12. Applicant is Cornerstone, and I understand that Mr. Daryl Witten is on the phone with us today. Are you here with us, Daryl?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you. Staff report, please.
Okay, so this is the location. I'm not going to touch that. This is the location for the site plan in 2023. We approved the site plan for this, so all the conditions are the same except for those in relation to the crossing that would be on the future Sanders Street and the light at Bowman Road.
Daryl, you might mute your speaker until you're ready to speak. We're hearing your computer.
Okay, so this is the general plan map and the zoning map. This is general plan designation of commercial, and the zoning designation is commercial general. This is the modified site plan. If you see on your lower left-hand corner, the addition of the light there. So the plan is still consistent with the general plan. It meets the infill development, compact development, commercial center, the outdoor lighting, and the drought tolerant landscaping. It meets our zoning. Again, the new conditions that you're going to see on this deal with the signal. So what we have is a median on the Bowman there, and that's going to provide a left-hand turn pocket, and then it's going to, so that way you have a protected turn when you're getting into the Tractor Supply shopping center. And it's also going to deal, you're in those conditions, it's going to deal with modifying the timing for those lights so that everything flows traffic-wise with the new light. So for CEQA, the project already had a negative declaration. This modification is not a significant change and doesn't impact the project in any way. So I'm going to ask that you guys approve the no further review is necessary, considering initial study was already produced and circulated. So when we looked at the conditions today, we had some concerns dealing with, and I'll go back to the site plan. The way the crossing is it's not part of this site plan. So if you look on there, you see the whited out property. So it's not actually part of this site plan, and the conditions for the development of that were on tentative track map 7359. So it makes it a little confusing about conditioning the light at this point when the rest of it isn't part of the project. But I did want to clarify that the crossing and the light are all at the developer's request. This is not, this was not on here for a health and safety reason. The fire department didn't require us to put this on. There isn't any actual safety reasoning for this crossing over the Bowman Channel or the circulation for this site plan through that adjacent properties. So we wanted to clarify that. And so what we have tonight on the resolution is an update. And so what we're going to ask is additional language be put on this resolution that says that the applicant has requested this access on the Bowman Channel, and that it's not a health and safety issue, so there isn't a health and safety requirement for it. So should they choose to proceed with a development in this nature, then the standards for how that's developed are in those conditions. And I have talked to the applicant about this, so hopefully that is a compromise that I believe he's willing to make. That way we can proceed, and should the applicant choose to develop, then they have the standards of how they're going to develop. The project can stand alone without that crossing, should they need to make the change. The only other thing that I have to say is on Exhibit 3 on the conditions of approval, on number 1, it says 2024, and it should say 2027. So that's it. And that concludes my staff report. Again, Daryl's on the line, so if you have specific questions. Other than that, staff does recommend the approval of the project.
Thank you. Commissioners, you have any comments? Daryl, you're still on the line, right?
Yes, I'm on the line. I've been muted.
So, and I appreciate that. So do me a favor when you do the final engineering, because when we originally approved this, if you look at where the bridge is, okay, and the egress, regress, you'll notice we had originally said right turn only, and that's what you're indicating. And so with the stoplight, you'll have different flow of traffic there. And it's non-consequential, but you'll probably want to put that in there because the flow of traffic every place else looks correct, where you're turning in, going straight. So can you see what I'm talking about?
Yes, I see that. Yeah,
okay.
we can address that when we go to improvement plans.
Yeah, that's just like a clerical. So that's the only thing I had. I too would recommend that we go ahead and approve this. And so, do we have any comments from the public?
I'd like to ask one question.
Yes, sir.
I know, what's going to be the language on the general condition number 1 that addresses the expiration date?
Yeah, Daryl, that will be changed, just a typo. So it's going to say,
2027.
you're getting, also that was the other thing, you're getting 36 months on this, and it would automatically expire on July 23rd, 2027.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other comments, commissioners? Okay, so I'd recommend that we approve. Let me come back. Does the number on my sheet?
It is.
2412, do I have a second?
I'll second with the amended date.
Second with the amended date.
Okay. Chairman Cox,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Ferris,
Aye.
Commissioner Hayman,
Aye.
Commissioner Mondragon,
Aye.
Commissioner Richter.
Aye.
5 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Daryl. We'll now close at
Thank you very much,
6:13.
Warren and council.
Go ahead, Daryl. Oh, you signed off.
I was just saying, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for your time. We'll close this public hearing at 6:14. Okay. Commissioners' reports? Any?
Both of mine fell within the first week, and because of the holiday in July. we did
Yeah,
not meet.
mine were off on holiday. Any other commissioner items? Staff items?
So it's been a little while since we met, so I wanted to tell you guys about. Oh, I'm going to keep you for longer. Oh. Nope, you're stuck now. No, so the code enforcement has been out there working hard for me with all of my signage issues. We had a lot of off-site commercial signage, and they were able to clear that up. So I did want to acknowledge that and let you guys know, too, that we have been working on that stuff. And some of the commercial landscaping, we've been trying to clean up some stuff.
Even in the residential, too. They've done some code enforcement on residential, which I'll give you one tonight.
Okay. And they've been also with the sea containers and stuff and going out there and making sure they're not, preventing the neighbors from being able to see and pull out their driveways and stuff like that. So we have had some temporary pods. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we are working on that stuff. And also the signage that was all over Bowman Channel, they were able to clear that off so we don't have things just flapping and falling off the fence. In the future, we'll have some more, you guys will probably be taking a look, hopefully by the end of the year, at some commercial landscaping standards for existing. We have development standards for new development, but we, letting the grass die and weeding it once a year isn't great. So we're going to be kind of going after and kind of giving some standards too, so they know how to redo that stuff. So you guys will see some of that. And the good news is I got you guys through all of the code amendments. So we are in compliance with California state law for all of our codes. So that's great. That's the first time since I've worked here. However, now we get to start zone changes. So you guys are going to see a lot of zone changes. California law does say we can't downzone any residential. So everything's going to come in groups, because when I downzone anything that's residential, I have to have a swap. So I have to be able to provide a different location. So I do have that. And I have some corrective zoning. Most of it's corrective, so you're going to see all of that kind of stuff that I hope to get through before the end of the year. And that's it.
So is downzone when I just go from residential to commercial? What's that actually mean?
Yeah, so downzoning is, so if it's, say it's multifamily, I can't just say now it's commercial. So if the property can have 100 units, I can't downzone it and just get rid of 100 units. I have to find another place for 100 units. So And that is due to state law. And that's for not meeting our RENA numbers, which, no, thank you.
You had talked to us once before about bringing back the carports.
So right now, we have a position open for an analyst that will also be code enforcement. So a lot of the projects, so then and they'll be under me, under planning. So I will be able to kind of start focusing on a lot of the things that are more in zoning instead of, our code enforcement's very occupied with typical laws. So they're going to have me as their driver for pushing forward on a lot of those kinds of things, all the things that are in zoning that we want to address. And we'll
Well,
have
if that
time.
comes before us, I would prefer and appreciate if we take
Take the health
segments
and
of it.
safeties first,
So we need
yeah.
to deal with front
Right.
first. Okay. So one of the things that came to, do you want to talk about code enforcement after?
Can you give him the key? What?
You want me to close the meeting and we'll talk about code enforcement?
Whatever you want to do.
Well,
So
let's-
at one point, we also had discussed the temporary signs and banners that were up everywhere and not during business hours. Is that something that code enforcement's going to handle still, or is this something that's going to go to the new position?
So it's going to be both, because there's still going to be code enforcement, because we did think it was important that they still have the same kind of powers as code enforcement. So there's still going to be code enforcement. But as you're probably aware, with Megan leaving, all of the regulations for organics, that's come to me. And so then that's where the analyst kind of portion of it comes in, because there is a little bit more detail than just code enforcement, because they're going to need to be able to understand and deal with the state laws as far as organics and start enforcing those things. So that's going to be, they're going to be a multi kind of tasker. And we are interviewing next week for that position, so we'll see. And then code enforcement is going to be moving in the back. So even the two officers now still remain under the police department, but all three of the code analyst will be in the back in what used to be engineering. And then potentially the new engineers will also go back there. So it'll give us all like and a little bit easier for them to work with us as far as for code.
Thank you. Any other questions, commissioners? If not, we will close this at 6:20.